have a Harvey Public Library Board meeting tonight. As you know, we're in a leadership crisis and a financial crisis for the board. We don't really know, just like the city, we don't know where the money is. We don't know what they're going to do. And Trustee Chappelle Hooks let us know that it was canceled at the last minute because I guess some people are out of town. And this is one of the Harvey World Herald reporters. So what happened?
Yes, I came and there's no meeting, there's no agenda posted. I asked the person working at the desk in the library and he said they never posted the agenda. It was not hung up on the window, but he didn't really know anything. So I just came out here.
Yeah.
And I found you two, and we were hearing from Miss Hooks here on the phone about an email she received canceling the meeting.
Yeah.
And I believe, when did she say that was sent today? Or was that earlier?
Yeah. And we saw the cameraman show up too.
Yeah, Justin showed up with us as well.
I just found out.
Here, Chappelle. We're live now, so tell everybody what you wanted to know. You're the library board trustee. So here's Chappelle.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. Go ahead. They're listening or recording.
So I'm sorry for everyone that took time out of their day to come to a library board meeting. It was canceled today, which is unfortunate because that should have been probably something that was told to at least 48 hours ago. So,
Right, because we had people, we had one reporter, at least one reporter and one cameraman come out of their way to show up for the meeting because they did not know about the cancellation until they got here.
And so the only thing that I could do is post, like I would do city hall meetings. I would post the board meeting so that people will know when to come out, so they can watch my page on Facebook. But other than that, this was something that we didn't know was going to happen. As trustees, we didn't know. Well, at least myself and two other trustees, we didn't know that this was going to happen because we were questioning why we haven't received an agenda.
And do you think that this timing, Ms. Hooks, is very suspicious as the library, as McCaskill and his allies just booted you from the treasurer position? We don't know how they've been spending money. We don't know how they intend on spending money. Why would they cancel when there's this crisis of leadership and finances going on at the library? What do you have any idea why? Are they hiding something? What can you tell us?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, there's something that's being, hidden. Of course, because as a treasurer, I never seen any statements. I never seen any come to the library. Which,
Right.
of course, anytime you have a bank account, of course the statements will be mailed to your home, or whether you have electronic or digital, whatever they call it, banking. But I've never seen one unless I have to go to the bank and request them, which that's something that we never had to do before now.
What bank does the library use?
Well, the only bank that I know of is First Merchant. That's the only bank that I know.
Okay. Interesting. And then how does President McCaskill respond when you try to ask him questions about where the money is? What answers do you get?
Well, honestly, I've never asked where was the money. What I asked was, when I became treasurer, I asked of having a ledger every month and the copies of the invoices, which they were, why do you want those? Or you don't need those. It's no, I do need those. But then when we went to go put my name on the account, the lady asked the question, as to where did we want, you know, the mail sent. And we said we elected the library. And I thought it was awfully strange that every time I would ask, did we get it? Did anything come? Nope, nope, nothing came. So I thought that was kind of weird. So, yeah, something is more than likely being hidden.
Right.
And even as a treasurer, I didn't have access to the safe. None of that. So, yeah.
Understood.
So, yeah, it was a bad deal. But I just want people to continue to come out and see what's going on, to see, you know, and ask questions as the public asks questions. You know,
right.
to just like how we do at Harvey City Hall, ask questions.
Yeah, I would say it sounds like a similar, almost not a similar situation, because our elected treasurer at the city doesn't get financial info, and now, well, we have a new treasurer, Felicia Johnson, but we're still not getting, you know, the information that we want as far as where our tax money's going.
Well, we'll see once. We'll see how this plays out, because
right.
I mean, it would be real surprising. Well, it wouldn't be surprising to me, but if she does give a treasurer's report, it would just prove to me that they were getting the statements all the time, and they just didn't want me to see them.
Right.
So, yeah. So, like I said, just come out, ask questions, and I'll do my best to make sure that I post an agenda so that people will know when.
Yeah, keep us posted. You know, and the Harvey World Herald, plugging their work. This is Maureen with the Harvey World Herald. But they've done, Amethyst and her team, they've done a great job of covering the library meetings as well as other meetings. So you guys can always check out their website. Do you want to say anything, Mr. Irvin, before we go? About the library stuff or anything, or no? No?
Not really.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks, Chappelle. Thank you for updating us. Keep us posted. And I guess we hope that amidst this financial and leadership crisis, while taxpayers can barely afford their taxes, I hope the trustees are enjoying their vacation.
Yeah.
That sure would be nice. Do you want to say anything more, Miss Maureen? No. Now you're headed off after you had to come all the way here. Yes. I'm so sorry. Okay. But thank you for coming out anyway and for showing your concern for us.
Course,
so
yes.
Thanks, Miss Maureen. And hi, Wyoming gal. Hey. Before I leave, I just wanted to show you guys, so this is the library. We're still paying off the renovations that they did, I think in 2016. You're headed out?
I'll see you on Monday. Yep.
Okay. Bye-bye. Wait, what's Monday?
That's the special meeting, right?
Oh, right.
So I'll be here for that.
Yes. Okay, that's right. So Miss Hooks, who is on the library board, she did say that there's supposed to be a special meeting. They're going to call Monday. But, you know, this is the kind of stuff I have no patience for. Why? I haven't taken an official, vacation to travel, in years. You know what I mean? Because I'm always working hard so I can afford my taxes and my bills to stay in my house, etc. Okay? So on our tax money, how are y'all going to cancel because you're on vacation? Let alone, there are 2 members of the McCaskill family on the library board and 1 member of the McCaskill family who works for the library. I mean, this is not right. We've got to fix this, and we cannot have this nepotism and this level of waste. It's horrible. But anyway, while we're here, I just wanted to show you. We used to have a beautiful Carnegie Library in Harvey, but unfortunately that was demolished around 1970. But look, remember Mayor Clark? I wanted to point out, because remember in the meetings, do you guys remember how he was saying how he runs the city so well and how Public Works is so great? So what do you think about this? Do you think that this looks like he's running things well and that the city looks so great? We have grass not cut. We have beautiful, these are some of our oldest, most historic homes, by the way. Yep, and they just sit here abandoned, empty. How do you know that this stuff, some of it you can tell, hey JJ, some of it you can tell that Harvey owns because you'll see the no trespassing on it. But nope, they don't care. And of course, it kills me as a historical society person because, you know, we should be taking care of our buildings and also providing tax revenue and places to live for people. Oh my God, the grass. Exactly, Berg. Yep, yep. So here you go. Just remember this. I'm showing you the reality versus when you hear Jedediah and you hear Mayor Clark and they're saying, oh, the city's run so well. It's run so well. Right, Wyoming. That's how I feel too. This is a beautiful old Victorian right here. This one is, again, they're all from like late 1800s, early 1900s when Harvey was first founded in 1891. So, and just to give you another idea of where we're at, so that's the library, which taxpayers still have not paid off the renovation from 2016 because that wasn't done correctly. Yeah, at least these homes are taken care of though. These are nice. But then right there at the end of the block, that's 154th Street. That's our main east-west commercial corridor or street. Then at this end, you have 155th Street, which is the main residential street that has like the big fancy homes and the library and the hospital on it. So just to situate it. But all right, Missouri, I'm gonna head out. But if you want to be on, I'll probably do a YouTube live later if you want to talk.
Okay.
But these YouTubers, they want your information too.
They do.
You're in demand now.
They want to talk to me.
They all,
Okay.
they want you to come on their shows.
Okay.
Me too, obviously.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
See you.
Special meeting Monday when?
Oh, I don't know. Ask Chappelle. Yeah. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna head out. If I was on, it would be so sad to lose the history. Exactly, Wyoming. Do you know how many of these lovely buildings we have already lost? It's so tragic. That's really what riled me up to restart an historical society. Look, here's another mysterious fire, okay? This happened within the last year. Another one of our beautiful historic old homes. The city can't, Chris Clark, you're running the city so well, you can't even be bothered to demolish a burnt out husk of a building that never should have burned in the first place. You should have taken care of this. You don't give a you-know-what about Harvey or its citizens or anything. So don't buy his lies. The truth will always reveal itself, right? So I'm trying to show you the truth. This house right here, look at that one. Another beautiful, beautiful old Victorian. Look at that. Let people buy and fix up these freaking homes. Instead, the city of Harvey owns hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of properties. And guess what? They don't even want to talk to you unless you are going to do a favor for the mayor, or you're going to pay him, or you're going to be one of his campaign contributors, okay? Why? Look, here's another, I believe this is city owned as well. Look, it's a big, beautiful old house. That just sits there. These, thank God, these are taken care of. These are beautiful. I love those apartment buildings, but I should take you down Turlington, you guys, since I'm doing my live, and show you some more. But yeah, here's 155th Street. There used to be a really, really pretty old church there. That one was, I think this one was put in the 50s. Not my favorite style of architecture. That's more like mid-century modern. There was a really cool old one there at one time, but it's okay. At least it's maintained. And what did you guys say? Wait, somebody said something. I missed it. If I was on the board, I would make sure the grass is cut. Yeah, right? Like a bare minimum. That doesn't look safe. Oh my gosh, wow. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, you guys. It's pretty cray-cray. So as long as I'm out and I got dressed and I did all that because I was told there was a library board meeting, and then they cancel it so that the trustees can, because they're on vacation somewhere. It must be nice being public officials, and you just, I guess it's free money, right? It's free money, it's free everything, apparently. Nice buildings next to the dilapidated ones. Wyoming, thank you. Welcome. It's called Welcome to Harvey, okay? That is Harvey for you. And that's why I tell people, we're not all ghetto people who are shooting and dealing drugs in the streets. We have a lot of great owners. We have a lot of community pride. It's just that the government, where the government comes in, they let these properties sit. And this is something that Christopher Clark won't tell you, okay? But I'll tell you the truth, because I'll tell you the truth. That's where the train station is right there. So it's cute. See, it's all walkable. But what he won't tell you is that the city is constantly acquiring new properties all the time. And they sit on them and do absolutely nothing. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of Turlington here. So that's Sheila. Turlington this has some of our oldest and most historic properties. This is a great street if you want to see the worst of, this is what happens when you have corrupt politicians. You see these houses? Look. And these are some beautiful four squares. Now that one might be salvageable because it's brick. That's just the front porch is falling off. Because remember, I specialize in preservation and restoring old homes. These are they're called American four squares. Wyoming, you guys have a lot of American four squares out by you in the west. That was also a very popular type of house there. Okay, those are newer than these. These are some of the oldest homes that we have. Okay, so that one right there, that's a 4-unit with a that has a limestone foundation. That's from 1888. That one, I don't know how old that one is, but those are some of the older ones. That one I don't think is going to be salvageable. That one looks like a wooden bungalow. Oops. Oh, I'm so sorry. My phone's going to die, you guys. Uh-oh. Let me plug my charger in before it dies. I didn't even realize I was that low. Let me plug her in. Okay, sorry guys, if I lose you, it is because I did not even realize my phone's at 3%. Oh my gosh, how did I miss that? So I really apologize. Like I said, if it dies, that's why I didn't forget you. I am gonna get back online when I get home anyway. But look. This is the wonderful job that Christopher Clark is doing. Do you see? Do you see this? Look. Christopher Clark is so wonderful. Look, actually, I would love to buy that house. That's cute. That's for sale right now. That one is a large house. I believe it was divvied up into apartments. There's another beautiful bungalow that's just left in decay. So when my grandfather was raising and grandmother, when they were raising their 9 children, they could not have afforded to live in this part of Harvey because this was right by the downtown, and these are all the old big historic homes. So it just goes to show you again how much it's been neglected, because these are some of our best treasures. This is the main fire station right here. Whoop. You can see some of the original brick pavers are exposed. Okay, but look again, what do you notice? Dilapidated buildings, and I don't know if it was you guys. Oh, sorry. Helicopter flying around. Do you know anything? No, I haven't heard anything. But hey, no apologies. Hey, Diana. So there's dilapidated, some sort of toll lot. Don't know what that is. We're also going to drive right by. Now we're turning on Center. Okay, this is Center Street. Again, one of our oldest, most historic streets and areas and neighborhoods, okay? So some of these are in decent shape and they're lived in. But look, like see the corner one? Okay, that looks good. But what do you notice? You see the Harvey sign on it, no trespassing. There was obviously a fire. This one is sad because I love these types of brick buildings. They're super solid, beautiful apartment buildings. Again, nothing. They're left to decay. What is the excuse for that? Don't tell me how much you're a wonderful mayor. Look at the street. Look, do you see all the holes? Look. You thought we were done with dilapidated houses? Oh no, we're just getting started. Look at that, look. And like I said, these are not only dilapidated, these are some of our oldest, most historic homes because we're right outside of Chicago, but we did not have the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. And our city codes never required homes to be built from brick. So our earliest homes are typically these wood frame homes. So they're historic, they're beautiful, and this is what Mayor Clark thinks of. This is what he thinks of Harvey and of the citizens. You see those big holes? These right here, let me tell you, this was a fire last fall. These, again, old historic townhomes. You see how they're connected? Beautiful old historic townhomes. Guess where the fire started that made these families all homeless? The fire started in the end unit, which was empty. Guess who owns the end unit? I'll give you one guess, and it's not one person. The city of Harvey. Isn't that interesting? And it's in a prime location downtown. So there just happened to be a fire that started in the end unit that was owned by the city and spread to the other units and made all those families homeless. And to this day, the city of Harvey really hasn't done much of anything to help those people. There's a nice brick apartment building across the street. That one looks kind of empty. And then this is the old YMCA, which is now senior housing. I wish they would bring back the pool and some of the amenities. But so anyway, yeah, that was still never solved. And then I did ask our fire chief about it, but he said that they were not going to investigate that fire in depth because it was too dangerous. So that's another fire that goes uninvestigated. This is our post office here. What do you guys want to see? Do you want me to turn and you want me to show you the big nice houses, or do you want to see the main commercial street that's pretty dilapidated? All right, I'll show you our main commercial street. It's nobody expressed a preference. We used to have a big historic Elks building right here. Unfortunately, that was demolished. Look, a whole bunch of empty lots where we had big, beautiful historic buildings. Here too, sadly. Right here, there used to be. This was one of the movie theaters downtown. That's one of the old city halls. That's the back of the bank. This is the convenience store, which is also a hot drug market, unfortunately. And this is our best preserved corner. Look at, we still got all the old buildings here. Now, if the mayor's left to his devices, he'll demolish them all, of course. There's the train again. These buildings are still in decent shape here. This is the beautiful old city hall that I would love to see restored. But again, Clark doesn't care about that. This was occupied just a few years ago. Unfortunately, that was Glenn's uniforms. All this empty space here, these were all buildings that were demolished. This, oh, I have to show you guys this. This is crazy, look. So this was just a bank very recently, okay? The bank left town. Harvey bought it, made it a police substation. It never gets used. Nothing's ever, like, you know, here, okay? Not like we need another police station. And then we hear a few months ago, the mayor says he wants to make this some sort of police station too. This on the end unit, that used to be the Minuet Grill, the Minuet Diner. It was a cute little diner years ago. I have some old photos. I mean, like, what about fixing it up and putting some restaurants, some businesses, grocery stores? Here's our old, that's the old Polish bakery, which was amazing. Right here, that was the second movie theater, which is now no longer there. The Abazir's is still open. It's a grocery store. There's the old Polish bakery, Jean's Bakery, and then these buildings, again, no attention, no upkeep. They're just let to sit there. Where you see this other empty land along 154th, same thing. This is all buildings, okay? And a lot of them were demolished because they just were not kept up. They were ignored for years and years and years. This one's still here. I hope we can reuse this. This is the old Missionary Baptist Church. Look at that tall grass. You see the city doesn't take care of it? These are the rain gardens that Mayor Clark wanted put in. Isn't that cute? Let's put in rain gardens while at the same time kicking people out of their homes for a retention pond that we don't need. Like, what the hell kind of government is that? It's called greedy, incompetent fools. So look at empty, empty, empty. Some of these are well maintained. It's funny because, you know, the people that maintain their stuff the best are private owners. All the city-owned stuff looks like, you know what. So here's the rain gardens. Cute, but we didn't ask for it. And guess what? This is the one street he redid. This street didn't need to be redone. And as long as we're here, I'll show you guys. Oh, that balcony's falling down. That's too sad. There's Sita's office there. This is the block where Mayor Clark is kicking out, and the MWRD and all those horrible politicians. They kicked out 15 families. Well, there's 3 left that are going to be moving soon, but because the mayor decided he wanted to build a park. And so who knows what kind of horrible plans he has for these. But you see how they're boarded up? These were people's homes, including elderly black people who were the first to be able to live here. They had raised their families and wanted to die in their own homes. And Mayor Clark and the MWRD said, no, we're going to make you move. See? This is Miss Dorothy Taylor's home. I interviewed her last year. So they all were forced to find other housing. Look at that beautiful old apartment building. It's going to be a waste. Look at the grass, not cut, not maintained. So they're all forced out of their homes for a park and a retention pond that we didn't ask for and we didn't need. This is Ascension St. Susanna Church and School. So this is where, and you can see the rectory on the other side. That's where my grandparents all went. This used to be homes there that were demolished. My family all went to church and school there. This is owned by the city of Harvey. Mayor Clark wants to demolish the church, the school, everything. He has no respect for history or the city or anything. I said, hey, let's make this into veterans housing. Let's make it a community center. No, he doesn't care. Horrible, 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 you guys. You can see some more of the houses there. So it really is a mix, you know, like Wyoming was saying. You'll see one house that'll be in really, you know, really pretty, well maintained, and then right next to one that is half burnt out. It's crazy. But don't you dare listen to Clark's lies and Tyrone's lies and Delaney and Dominique's and Shirley's lies, saying that they're doing a good job with the city, because they are not. You take one quick drive around the city and you'll find out really quickly that it looks horrible. Even with all of our property owners that are proud of their stuff, they take care of it, they're happy to be here. So it's just, you know, we gotta keep making noise, telling the truth, and getting people excited to have towns where you can live in peace and not be harassed by corrupt politicians all the time, you know? So, did I miss any comments? Or are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man, I missed your comment. I was wondering. I'm like, you guys are so quiet. Your town be so beautiful. You could fix these up. Revitalize your historic district. We did that. Yes, Wyoming. That's exactly what I want to do. Some of these homes could be used as office buildings or restaurants. We did that. Thank you. Yes. Do you know how many fucking years? Sorry. Do you know how many years I have been saying this? And these politicians, every time we want to do stuff like that, they just put these huge obstacles in our way. You know, I was arrested, I get harassed, I get ticketed, and I take care of my properties, you know? What else did you say? Tons of tax revenue could be coming into Harvey. Both. Helicopters over over Riverdale. Clark's office was on 154th. Yes. Oh, did you know he's trying to pressure and scam the current owner of his old office building on 154th, so that he wants to get control of it. He wants to take it for himself using the city, you know, his city authority. And the crazy thing is, when he owned it, well, technically it was in his mother's name, but when he owned it and had his law office there, the man didn't pay his property taxes. And he loves to claim that that's why we don't have any money. It's like, wow, hypocrite much, Clark? You didn't even, when you had a building downtown, you didn't even pay your own freaking taxes. So get the heck out of here. But that JJ, you nailed it. When Clark says, look at my lovely back. I love that I have trees back here. Love your trees, people. Don't get rid of your trees, okay? So many people are like, I hate trees by my house. Just trim them so they don't like, you don't want it touching your roof, but they're beautiful and they save you a lot on your utilities. But yeah, Clark loves to say that is why we don't have money, is because the businesses aren't paying taxes. No, it's because you let half the town sit empty, unkempt. No one's living in the properties or using them or having businesses in them, and they don't pay taxes. So the rest of us have to make up the difference here. Say hi, you better. You better say hi. They want to see you on camera. Okay, he is literally following me around a circle, so I cannot show him. There he is. Say hi, you better. So here's the baby. He's a stray. Okay, look, I try to put my money where my mouth is, folks. He was a stray that someone found in his yard in Harvey. I wanted a bigger dog, and I ended up taking him in. So now Daddy used to teach French full time, so I'm a big Francophile, so I gave him a French name. So this is Hubert. And then my little baby Jean-Pierre, my other one that I gave a French name to, he passed away. So we're both still in mourning. He misses his little baby brother. I miss my little baby boy that I had for all those years. I can't even clean up his bed yet. Has anybody lost a dog? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I still have his little bed there. I'm like, I can't move it yet. I can't clean it up. I miss him too much. So it's better. I'm getting better, okay? And I'll show you guys my front yard. And I know Minion wanted to do a live, and Foxy, they wanted to talk about some Harvey stuff, so I might be joining them. Hold on, let me see. What did I miss? So sweet, so sorry. Yes. Have you lost a dog, JJ? You know what I'm talking about? So I'll show you a little bit of my front yard because I've worked on it over the years. Okay, so when I first bought it, it was just some bushes and some grass, but I wanted to be green and beautify. So my block is actually quite nice. Luckily, we don't have but they are just like our children. Exactly, JJ. We don't have too many. I think we only have 2, 3 empty homes on our block. I love my neighbors across the street. They always tell us they're the first black family to move on the block in 1971. I planted this. Okay, this is a cherry tree, but there was nothing in the parkway. It was just grass. I built myself these planters, and I volunteered to build them for free. We were going to get donors and put them in downtown Harvey. And this was a few years ago. And look, we even had some sponsors. This one is Uplift Harvey. And the mayor in his office said, ew, no, they're ugly. Ugh, never. And he just totally, dismissed it and said, no, we're going to do our own beautification. Well, I just showed you downtown Harvey. Did you see any flowers? No. So like I said, this was all grass when I bought it. So I have one apple tree. You can see the apples growing, and I highly recommend wherever you live, plant some trees that provide food, even put them in your parkway. Think of what if someone's homeless or they're starving? They can just come and pick some fruit. Why not? This is another one of the planters I made, and that we volunteered. We were going to get donors. This one was donated by, Wayne Higgins, who is from this area, and he worked in the DC area for NOAA. So thank you, Wayne, for that. I bought some perennials. I tried to transplant my grass, and it died, so I have to try with some more. But if you're wondering, like, why does he have dead grass in there? That's why. But again, this is my attempt at rewilding. Okay. So if you have a manicured lawn that you spray chemicals on and it only has one kind of grass, that is the worst, literally the worst thing for the environment. Please do not do that. So I'm doing my part, and I'm trying to rewild. Okay. It's a work in progress. The clovers are blooming right now. It's clover season, and actually they smell really good. Let's see. I'll show you guys. Okay. Yeah, they still smell good. They're not as strong as they were like a week ago, but oh, look, look, look. And this is also why, again, rewild your yard. Please don't have chemicals and grass only. Look, the bumblebees, they love it. Ah, it's great. Beautiful, awesome landscaping. Thank you, thank you. So it's not the traditional landscaping. Like I said, I'm trying to rewild it. You want to try to put in as many native plants as you can. Look, there's a native flower right there. These grasses are ornamental, but I still thought they were cool. My roses are looking pretty good. This is another apple tree that I planted. Again, none of this was here when I bought the house. Okay. The ivy has spread. Eventually, I want to get some other ground cover that's not ivy, because I think this is English ivy. It's not. It's really not native. It's not like the best, but it beats grass. My rhododendron. Does anybody know plants? Rhododendrons. I got to figure out why it's not doing so hot. Hostas. So yeah, I let that serve as an inspiration to you guys. Like I said, please don't put chemicals down. Don't just have grass. Like I know that's how we were raised, especially if you're from the suburbs. You're raised that's what a quote unquote good lawn looks like, but it's actually like the worst thing. The worst thing. Here, oh look at this. I have to show you guys this. So this was the old Modern Way Cleaners. This property is owned by the city of Harvey. One of the ideas that I proposed was to get together with some area nonprofits and make it a local gym, an affordable local gym. Do you think the city of Harvey is going to do anything with it? No, they never, they won't work with any investors. Again, unless you're going to offer the mayor something. And look what just happened the other day. Part of that the wall came off. I get so pissed with this. This is what I call criminal neglect. Why do the state, county, and federal politicians allow our politicians to do this? Harvey is a microcosm, okay? It's not just about Harvey. That's what I want you guys to understand. Oh, what did you say? A rhododendron festival. Yay. Oh, yeah, you guys in the Northwest, I remember when I went there, I think your climate is especially suited to rhododendrons, because I remember I visited a friend in the Seattle area, but the rhododendron, I had never seen such huge rhododendrons. I was like, whoa. So I think you guys must have an ideal climate. These are dianthus, and I think dianthus and then daisies. I'm trying to buy perennials again because it saves money and healthier. So yeah, that's that. You can see I got my rainbow flag up, then I got my American flag behind the apple tree. But remember, it's not just about Harvey, okay? Harvey is a microcosm of, I'll show you a little bit of my backyard plants too. What is your favorite? Hydrangea. Yeah, you know what? I bought some hydrangeas last year, but they didn't survive. I was so sad. They did not survive. Very cute yard. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you know what's funny is that these are brighter, but they're not as fragrant. These, well, more of them will come in, but the pink ones are the, ooh, they have a really nice fragrance, the pink ones. So, so many towns are like this, okay? So many towns. Look, I like this shot. Oops, sorry, lost you for a second. I love this view because it's like quintessential, right? Americana, American flag. And then in the background, you see the decaying building that's owned by the city. And that used to be a gas station. And then right there, that used to be a really nice Ford dealer. So it just shows you, like, do you know how many cities and towns are like this in the U.S.? Our politicians have sold us out. Starting in the late 70s, they said, hey, you know what? We're just going to take money from all these rich people. They're tired of paying fair wages to people in the U.S. Let's ship all the factories out to other countries, and you know, lower wages for everybody. And then now, decades later, here we are. You have all these cities and towns that are no different than Harvey. That's what I want everybody to understand. This is a universal story. You can understand, even in other countries, you can understand this. So you have a city like Harvey that was a thriving industrial powerhouse that is now, you know, a shadow of its former self. Okay, we can turn things around, but the extreme political corruption you see in Harvey and in many, many, many other governments is one of the biggest obstacles, right? The politicians, they don't have to follow any rules, any laws. They can do whatever they want, and the rest of us are left to live with the consequences. So this is my old timey porch. This used to be, you know, open to the elements. We have tons of homes like this um, in Harvey where people enclosed the front porches. So yeah, I just have a 20s bungalow, nothing fancy, but I love that I have all the original trim, the original plaster walls. So that's the sort of thing, the other sort of thing I encourage people to do with your older, you know, buildings. Again, don't get rid of your plaster walls. Don't do an open concept and just demolish all the walls. I'm in the process of kind of lightening up some of my wood trim, but you know, keeping it. So like this door, you know, that's the original from the 20s. So I encourage everybody to do that. I redid my kitchen. This I built myself. If I didn't have to fight corruption so much, I could build more furniture. But I built this. It was my first attempt at a buffet. And then I did the cabinets I put in. Or I did one big pass-through cabinet. And then when I bought it, when I bought the house, like they had kind of like suspended the ceiling a little bit, which is gross. I didn't like that, so I took that out. I've been repairing the old plaster ceiling. I put up some shelves, but you can see this is the original, very typical for the 1920s. This is very typical. They liked they used tinted dyed shellac. They liked the dark shellac, so I'll probably lighten that up a little bit, just like I did my window. See how I lightened it up the trim a little bit. But yeah, I put in some wainscoting. I'm not done, but I built that cabinet, some shelves. So it's exciting. It's cool. All right, well, thanks for joining me for talking about the library. Unfortunately, now hopefully they're supposed to meet on Monday again, but we need some answers about what's going on with our library board, and we were able to do a little mini tour. And unless anybody has any other questions, I'm gonna get going, and I'll probably join. I'll talk with Minion maybe a little bit on his live. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. Talk to y'all soon.